I don't know what that would be in like pounds and stuff like that because I'm a product of the American education system. Hey, what up y'all? Mr. Cruz here, your friendly neighborhood producer, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 things that Smart Limit does better than Ozone. Let's go. So Smart Limit, if you checked out my recent video, is a plugin that is kind of like a mastering plugin. It's like an automated limiter, but limiting your track is a big part of the mastering process. So I'm gonna just call it a mastering plugin. And probably one of the most notable automated mastering plugins out there is Ozone. But I'm gonna give you guys 5 reasons today why Smart Limit is better than Ozone. First up is we have the price. Ozone costs about $200. Smart Limit is about 50 bucks cheaper, so it's about $150. I don't know what that would be in like pounds and stuff like that because I'm a product of the American education system. But all in all, Smart Limit is cheaper, and you would think that like, oh well, because it's cheaper, that means it's less valuable or that there's less quality, but that is not true. Because the second thing that Smart Limit does better than Ozone is our sound shaping tools that we have down here. Now granted, Smart Limit doesn't necessarily have a designated EQ like Ozone has built into their plugin, but you get so much more here, right? You get the difference between hard limiting and soft limiting. You get saturation, which saturation is a very effective way of getting your tracks to sound louder and to hit harder without compromising on volume. You get balance, right? Which is almost the exact same thing that Ozone Imager does, that it has featured inside of Ozone. And you get bass control, right? With bass control, you can kind of tame that low end so that that low end is not dominating or triggering your limiter so early on. So you do get more features and more effects that you can use, even though in Ozone, you really get more control over the ones that they offer you, but in there you're not going to get saturation and you're not going to have the option to be able to pick between hard limiting and soft limiting. The next thing that it does better, and probably the best thing that it does, is the quality check. Now if you saw my recent video, I said that I would pay what Smart Limit is worth just for a plugin that is this button right here, just a quality check. Because what quality check does is it analyzes my track and then it gives me feedback. It tells me, hey, this is what is wrong with your track right now. Here are some suggestions on what you can do in order to fix it. That is instrumental in helping you to become a better engineer, to get better at mastering, because it's not just going to make the moves for you, but it's going to tell you the moves that you should make in order to adjust your track to get it to sound as best as possible. The next thing that it does is the delta button. So this delta button, which I forgot to go over in my review or my tutorial, the delta button isolates whatever the limiter is processing so that you can kind of clearly hear what is triggering the limiting. So let's go ahead and I'm going to play this right here. I'm going to give you an example of what the delta button does. So when I click this delta button, what you're going to hear is the elements in this track that are triggering my limiter. So right there, if you're with me, you can hear that what is triggering my limiter is the bass. Not necessarily the bass, but the kick. So the kick is hitting really hard and it's triggering my limiter. So what I could do as a result of being able to hear that is I could maybe turn my kick down. I could maybe throw a clipper on it. I could add some saturation so that I can keep the loudness of that kick without compromising on the volume or the dB and necessarily triggering my limiter too early on. But if I'm being honest, like the kick should be the loudest part of like any kind of hip hop track. So I'm gonna keep it the way it is. And the last thing that it has is states. So I get that Ozone probably has like the A, B states, but look, here you get 8 different states. So what I could kind of do is, let's say if I'm mastering a track, an 8-song EP for somebody, I can save track 1 under state 1, track 2 under state 2, track 3, and so on and so forth. And then it allows me to compare and maybe even, you know, copy this one and use the same state, the same settings that I use for track 1. I might use the same ones over on track 6. So having a lot of states available does give me a lot of flexibility. Probably not necessarily going to come in handy to have all 8 or to be able to use all 8 at some time, but the fact that I have more than just 2, instrumental. That was a dad joke. That was a dad joke, and I didn't even mean to do that. That was just like instinctual. But there you guys go, 5 things that Smart Limit is doing better than Ozone. If you're looking for a plugin that does the exact same thing that Ozone does, and you've probably had your eye on Ozone for a while, I'm telling you now, save your money and try out Smart Limit. Because Smart Limit is not only going to give you better results, but it's also going to give you more knowledge. And like, that's really what counts, is not only are your tracks sounding good, but you know why your tracks are sounding good. Well, that's what I got for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you feel like you've learned something or you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me. And if you're checking out this video, but you have not checked out my review or my tutorial of Smart Limit, go ahead and click this video right here. Other than that, it's your boy, Mr. Cruz, out.